We are back. We're back. To did you still want me to do the countdown? Oh, okay. We're back. Here to talk about today. We're talking about thinking like a boss. So I got my co-host here with me, the super team, is always ready to talk to y'all about business. Over here to my, I'm so bad with directions. Over here on the side of me is Gio. Gio, say hello to the people.
Hello, everybody. I'm Gio. My YouTube channel is The Boss Life Online. My home business is CTFO, which stands for Changing the Future Outcome. Back to you, Melissa.
All right, now Miss Pandy.
Hello, everybody. I am Pandi of Pandy's Hair Candy and More, as well as Making Money Moves with Pandi. Happy to be here with y'all tonight. Back to you, Melissa.
And last but not least, Tony holding us down.
What's up, everybody? I am Tony Clopton of the Tony Clopton Show. Glad to be here. Back to you.
And of course, I am Melissa King. I'm sorry I didn't introduce myself at first. And we are all home-based business owners. So welcome to the team. Welcome to the show. And we are going to get started. Before I get started, I did want to share last night's topic. We talked about marketing and how important marketing is to your business. And I kind of went over some of the products that our company, my econ, has shared with us to improve our marketing situation. And just to have something to share with you guys, I did a couple used a couple of the videos to create, some marketing pitches. So I'm gonna share those with you guys. And there's music on it, so it's probably gonna drown, not let me comment. But you'll be looking at one I did for Facebook, one I did for TikTok, and an example of the MindShare card that I was telling you guys about that we also have. So let me get that queued up. Just gotta go down. Okay. Don't live your life. You steady dressing up that car, just live your life. Ain't got no time for no haters. This girl is on fire. This girl is on fire. Right, so that is I was able to take the same little video clip and customize it based on what I wanted to do. On the first clip, it had like the little indication for you to like, subscribe, and share. On the second one, it had a thing where you could tap on it, it'll take you straight to the link for my MindShare page. And as you can see on the MindShare page, it had a list of my CTFO business, our travel business, the opportunity for my econ, just everything that I wanted. You can click on it, it's going to take you directly to that page. So just want you to see it does work. I shared it on everything I got last night, so y'all probably be seeing me all day or have been seeing me all day if you follow me. Okay, so let's go on here. Hold on. It don't want me to be great. Okay. So today we are talking about thinking like a boss. One of the biggest parts of becoming a home-based business owner and having a successful business is when you are able to stop thinking so much like an employee and start thinking like a business owner. And you would think it would be easy to do, but it's really not initially. Because think about it, we're all programmed when we go to school, we are taught to work hard, get out of school, get a job. Usually when you get a job, if you're an employee or a W-2 employee, not a 1099, then you're used to thinking like an employee. They're going to tell you what time you have to be there. They're going to tell you how much money you can make. They're going to tell you yes or no on whether or not you can have a day off. All those things that we've just kind of been doing it for so long, we know that comes with the territory. Well, when you switch over to being a business owner, it's hard to get used to the fact that you are answering only to you. And you would think it would be a lot easier, but then when you compare it to as an employee, like I said, you're used to them telling you every step of the way where you need to be, what you're gonna make, you know, kind of pretty much dictating your whole work life. When you have a business, everything changes and you start making those decisions for yourself. You decide, like our partner up there, Gio does not have a 9 to 5 like the rest of us. So Gio can decide when she wants to go to bed, when she wants to wake up, what day she want to work. That's what the rest of us are trying to get to. Because the rest of us is still kind of hybrid. We're part have our own business and part working for somebody else. So I'm going to ask each of our panelists to kind of give um, some examples or some of the challenges of going from being an employee to an employer, and some of the tips that you can share to make that transition easy. We'll start with you. We'll start with the one who's already doing it, Gio.
Okay, hello everybody. I'm Gio. I am a business owner. I've been working for myself for up 10 years, at least over 18, 19 now. And it was not something that I just jumped into and learned how to be a boss and learn how to be who I am today, which I know I got to get myself up out that bed because, see, I have learned, baby. Money do not fall out of trees, and they definitely don't fall out your bed. Okay, you have to get up and do something. Okay, I have some tips that I learned throughout the years, and this is not something that I learned like in 2 weeks. This is a learning experience. This is a journey becoming your own boss and having the confidence to do that. Okay, a lot of the things that I have learned comes from a already boss, and that was my sponsors. Okay, I didn't had like three, four, five mentors. Okay, they all had their own business. They all made over $1 million. Now y'all know I learned a lot, and what I had to do was stop thinking in my head that they don't know what they talking about. Okay, well wait a minute, Gio. Don't you want what they have? Do you know how to get what they have? No. Then you need to be quiet. This is the conversation I had with myself, because see, you have to get real with yourself before and accept help. And if you want what other people got, then you need to sit down and tell yourself, I don't know what I'm doing. Let me just do what these people say. And once I accepted that and did that, that's when I learned. And that's when I started being successful. And that's when I learned how to be my own boss and what to tell people like you guys. Okay, so today I'm going to just give you just a couple of tips. As being a boss, you have to set goals. Like every day, I set goals. I use my tablet to set goals. Okay, this is my grocery list though, but you that's what I do. I set a goal for every day, and I look at that tablet and I reach that goal. Okay, you have to be organized. One other thing, I use my tablet for that. I put down everything I have to do. That don't mean I might not get it all done in one day. I just move it over to the next day. Okay. Number three, network. Yes, I network. I network with a lot of people in Team Build with Geo. That's another one of my channels. We have a big team over there. Okay, so I do a lot of networking. Not only do I network with them, but I network with other affiliate marketers offline. That's not even bothered about YouTube. Okay, and then you have to, I call it networking with my sponsors, because I call my sponsor all the time, because that's what I need to do, not all the time, but at least twice a month, to let her know that I'm still here and I'm doing good. Listen, I'm having a problem in this area. Okay, so you do have to keep up network with your sponsor. Number four is you have to take risk. Don't be afraid to take a risk. Taking calculated risk can help you grow your business. It's a lot of things that I take a risk in, and sometimes it works and sometimes it don't, but you cannot be afraid not to do it. Okay. You have to think strategically. Think about the big picture and how your decisions will affect the future of your business. Be proactive. Don't wait for things to happen. Make them happen. That's where I am now. I'm back at that point because y'all know after the pandemic, sales is up and down, and now they real down. So I got to be proactive to make something happen. If I don't want no job, and Gio already know she can't handle that no more because I've been gone too long. Okay, so I'm in the proactive stage. Number 7, stay informed. You have to know what you have in your hands. Delegate. If you can't do everything, if you got a team around you, ask them to help you do stuff. Be flexible, be open to change and new ideas. And number 10 is lead by example. Set a good example for your team and be a leader. This will help you build trust and respect. That's all I have, Melissa. So I'm going to turn it back over to you.
That was a lot. But each point was very valuable. Let me just ask you this real quick. Out of all the points that you named, which do you think was the most challenging for you?
The most challenging? Let me go back and look over that one. Just a second here. I'm just going to pull it back up.
Okay.
Actually, back in the day, taking a risk.
Okay.
Because I didn't know what was going to happen and I couldn't see the future. That was most challenging until I just say, well, look, I'm going to spend my $50. And if it don't work, it don't work. Spent the $50 and it worked.
Okay.
So you don't know. You have to not be afraid to take a risk in whatever it is. But sometimes you can talk to somebody before you take that risk now. Or you can do your own research and see what everybody else saying about what that company or what you want to spend your money on. If they saying it's a scam, it's bad, don't do it, and I would not take that risk. I would go to another risk.
Right.
All right.
Well, thank you for that. Before we move on, while I still can see the screen, let me go ahead and say hello to everybody who's come in. Thank you guys so much for coming. I see Jennifer, welcome. Thank you for coming. Who else we got? The 48. Thank you for coming and hanging out with us. Who else we got in here today? The Bud Files. Thank you for coming. We appreciate you. Precious Pieces. Thank you for stopping through and showing love. We appreciate you. And who else? Anybody else? Am I missing? My thing's so wobbly. Okay, I think that's everybody. Well, no, Vanessa Singleton. Thank you for coming through, Vanessa. Oh, that's our friend from Baltimore. Nice to see you. Okay. All right. So next, we're gonna go to Pandi. Pandi, Gio laid out some really good things, a good list of things that you have to be prepared for in order to be a home-based business owner. So, for you and your experience, would you kind of share with us how you feel? Maybe give us some examples of some things that you have to change in order to transition from employee to employer?
Yes, thank you. So, the main thing for me, since I am still employed, working to become full-time entrepreneur, I have found that speaking with other successful entrepreneurs and business owners, the key thing that they tell me that I need to focus on, or that anybody seeking to go into business for themselves should focus on, is really trying to get a business mindset. So some tips that I have, taken into account personally and that I share with others, because I really feel like it is a shift. And I love that because the whole income shifting, it really takes adjusting your mindset. And in order to adapt that business mindset, you just have to start approaching things differently, looking at them differently, planning out things more, establishing short term goals, milestones, and long term goals. And, really have an effective strategy. And that doesn't necessarily have to be some fancy plan that you do with software. Like Gio said, it can be the old school pen and pad, but whatever the case, make sure that you have a strategy for how you're going to approach your marketing, your branding. And when I say marketing, that can be free social media apps like YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. Where are you going to market? Or are you going to be in person? Or are you going to do both? You can go sit down in a Starbucks and share your business opportunity, and know that those things are business deductions, or write-offs, because they're business activities. So really just learning and understanding and adapting a business mindset will help you, so that you're not all frazzled and all over the place and end up burning out and giving up.
100% agree. So for you, what has been the most challenging?
Staying consistent.
Oh, me too.
Staying consistent for me, because my hand is in so many different pots. So really staying consistent and really narrowing down which pots I want to, follow through with. I've always been one of those type of people that, ooh, that looks good, I can do that. And then I get in it and it might not be something that I really want to stick with, and I'll let it go. And then I'm off to the next, and then I'm off to the next, and then I'm off to the next. That's not what I want to keep doing. I've been doing that for years. I'm getting older, so I want to be wiser and work smarter and not harder.
Yeah, that is definitely what I want to do. Work smart and not as hard. Because like you said, I'm creeping on up the age ladder.
Okay.
All right. Professor Clopton, the man that's been an entrepreneur even before we knew what entrepreneurs were. What did you tell me your first entrepreneur job was? You were selling newspapers? You ordered some stuff when you were like 7?
I did, with no one to sell to. Okay. So, man, Gio done laid some stuff down, and I can't follow that. I ain't got no list of stuff, y'all. I'm gonna shoot from the hip. Okay, I'm coming off cuff. I'm gonna probably mispronounce some stuff, and it's gonna be jumble. But this is coming from inside, right? So I can tell y'all, most of us gonna have a problem staying focused. It's so much out there, y'all. It's stuff coming at you, especially on social media. How to get rich here, how to get rich there. My thing is find out what you're passionate about. Money, winning, wealth, faith. That's what pushes me. Stay focused, y'all. I'm telling y'all, in any business, you got to stay focused, because there's so many distractions out there. I write down where I want to be, write it down, make it plain. Y'all know how that go. Um, the faith part is that anything that you do, you're going to be successful in it. You got to put God in that thing for real. So it's like whatever you decide to do, pray about that. Take some action. People pray all day, all night. God said, look here, I done gave you what I needed for you to have. Now, the rest of it is up to you, right? You got to take some action. So I already know that focus is going to be the biggest part for a lot of people, and for myself. Just staying focused and consistent, like Pandi said, and just go for it. Because I say it's going to be a lot of people coming for you. And I really don't I cannot get rattled with what I know. The information that I shared, it was for me. So I allow my results to be my truth. So you can tell me it's a scam. I can tell you what a scam is. You know what I'm saying? I didn't got to a point where when somebody hit me with it, a definition of a scam, what is it? You still confused about money. So let me break this thing down. Proper record keeping, products and services solidifies me as a business owner. So is that a scam? We've been around for 18 years. We got an A plus with the Better Business Bureau. So when you start rambling and hitting folks with that upside their head, you're going to shut them up. You know what I'm saying? They're going to get quiet. So you got to be confident in what you do. Learn what you do. Be the expert. Even if it don't have anything to do with no degree. I know a lot of educated people out there that don't make no money, having issues with money, with finances. So it's subject specific. When you're a business owner or an entrepreneur, you're kind of like connecting with a lot of people that know a lot of information. So like networking is big. You cannot go wrong with having that faith, knowing that whatever I do, I'm gonna pray about it, and I just gotta push through it. Um, I'm off the cuff, y'all. I know I done probably fell off script, but that's all I got. Back to you.
Well, I take it from what you were saying, staying focused, you feel is the biggest challenge. Okay. It's funny. I was thinking about when you one of the things I looked up prior to this was the difference between a hobby versus a business. And it was very clear. It wasn't some long drawn out definition. Basically, it was the same principle that we teach as far as with my econ that if you have a business, you have to do good record keeping and you have to make an attempt to make a profit. A profit should be your goal. A hobby, they basically said, it could be the same thing, but you don't necessarily care about making money off of it. So a lot of people get confused on, well, depending on what we're doing, how do I know if it's really a business? That's when you really have to get the mindset and start thinking about yourself as a business. When I looked it up, there was a question in there, and this is from I think the IRS website that was asking, is there a specific amount of money you have to make to be considered a business? No, there was no specific amount. So if you have, a lot of times what gets us discouraged and off track is people giving us bad information. I can't tell you how much over the years I've had people argue with me about things, and these are not business owners. These are regular W-2 employees. I'm telling them, what I'm doing, and they're arguing with me that that's not correct. And I'm like, what's your background that I should believe you versus what I've read and seen for myself? Especially at irs.gov, you have people who will tell you, well, if you don't have an LLC, you don't have a real business. That's not what the IRS said. They will tell you you have to have a profit of so much before you consider a business. That is not what the IRS says. So I would say, don't be discouraged by people, because you're always going to have, it's just like the devil. There's always somebody coming in trying to tear down what you're trying to build. If they don't have the qualifications to talk to you, meaning they haven't been in business themselves, don't let them talk you out of doing what's your dream. Go ahead and go on with it. And I know for me, one of the other things that I find in thinking like a boss, you got to start thinking, I've heard Tony talk about writing off your lifestyle. Do not make your business a part of your lifestyle. Make your lifestyle a business. When you start looking at it that way, that's when that boss mentality really kicks in. Because a lot of things before I started doing a home-based business, I didn't even think about it as, things go from being an expense to being a deduction. Because my daughter and I, once a month, we go out to the Olive Garden. That's her fans to go out to eat restaurant. So when we go out there, I usually will go live, let people know me and my business partner are out discussing business things. We're talking, we're chopping it up, we're getting ideas. I just made that dinner a business dinner. So that is the type of thing as a business owner that you have to start getting in the process of thinking about. When you're traveling, one of the things that I try to make sure that if I'm going somewhere, even if I'm going somewhere for personal purposes, that I work my business in there. Now we got this my share. I can shoot that my share to them, and I'm still covered, that this is a business expense. Now I'm writing off mileage and everything. So getting in that mindset will make you look at things differently when it's a expense versus something that's later on going to be a deduction. Okay, so I'm gonna start with Gio. Do you have anything more you want to add to the whole thinking like a boss before we um, shut it down for tonight? Any last thoughts or?
Well, just just find. I'm a lot with what Tony said. Find something you're passionate about. If you're passionate about it, then you will learn what goes with it and how to be a boss. And another thing he said was ask God to come into it. Put him smack down in the middle of it. That's what I did too.
Mhm.
Okay? Because I needed just way more than the mentors down here. I needed to learn about his word, and what he said. And like Tony said, he's already given us enough, to work with. And way more. Okay. So
Mhm.
you have to make up your mind if you want to be a boss or not. You don't want to be a boss, you just stay at work. And it's nothing wrong with a job, nothing. But you have to make a decision. Do you want to be the boss of your life and make as much money as you want for yourself, or do you want to go to work every day and make that man at the top rich while you making little bitty? I'm done.
I completely agree, Gio. One of the things that I always say, and I say this about anything that's dealing with decision making, if you're not willing to put the work in and make the change, don't complain about the situation. So don't be telling us, well, I couldn't get this day off, and the boss is talking to me and they're not paying me enough. It's almost like voting. Everybody has the right to vote or not to vote. If you don't vote, don't complain because you didn't do what you could have done. So I totally agree with that. Pandy, what you got?
I'm pretty much in agreement with what Gio said. Ain't nobody trying to make the boss rich. I'm trying to get to where they're at. And I'm still on the job. So, and like Gio said, there's nothing wrong with having a job, but ultimately, I know that's not my final destination. And I do also firmly agree that faith in God got to be the foundation. You got to let Him lead you, and you have to have that faith and trust and know that He's not going to steer you wrong and He's not going to give you more than you can bear. So, knowing all of that and working diligently and adapting a business mindset, and of course being passionate about it, that comes over time and learning, but definitely being focused and being passionate, making sure that it's centered around your faith walk, so that you can walk in it in a spirit of excellence, knowing that you're not doing nothing crooked or illegal, knowing that you're here to grow and build wealth. That's ultimately my goal for where I want to be.
No, I agree. I feel like when you are showing it and that type of feel is exuding from you, people will see that. I
Yeah,
think people can tell when you're sincere and when you're really about trying to do the right thing versus somebody's trying to scam you. And I know there's some good scammers out there,
right,
but I feel like the Lord gives us this sense of discernment a lot of times where you can kind of figure out, I don't know. I don't
right.
know about this. And so I completely agree. And I will say before I go to Tony, I am not one that usually can quote Bible scriptures. I usually tell you what I'm going to say is somewhere between Genesis and Revelation. Go look for it. But I have heard him talk about Deuteronomy 8 and 18 so much over the last 8 years, and I find myself saying, God gave us the power to gain wealth. I'm just like, I'd be darned if he ain't rubbed off on them right quoting scriptures. So with that being said, go take it away, Tony.
Hey, that's funny. Hey, so I got three hot points. I'm gonna make it real fast. The first thing about transitioning from employee to business owner is get out of your own way, right? The second one I got is what's entertaining you is training you, whether you believe it or not. If you at work with a bunch of employees, don't let them folk rub off on you and have you stuck in there for the next 40, 50 years because it can happen. You know what I'm saying? And the last one, not least, is this past Sunday, the pastor talked about setting the foundation, and you cannot build a strong anything on a weak foundation. So you always got to have that spiritual foundation, knowing that God gonna put you in places and connect you with places and people. Right? You need other people in any business. I don't care what you say. You can't do it by yourself. That's why we on here building and working as a team, as a unit. We all know God is the one in control of all of this, right? So you always want to work on your health. You got to have the energy to be able to do it. Passion, all of that stuff gonna come into play. But most importantly, you must have faith.
That
Thank
is
you.
so true. That is so true. And let me just say, while I have everybody here, how you were talking about networking and how you can't do it by yourself. I am so appreciative of these three people on this panel with me. Had I not been Facebook stalking Tony, I wouldn't have found anything out about my econ, and I probably still would be over there overpaying my taxes. But because he couldn't sit down somewhere and stop talking about my econ, I had to go and find out what he was doing. I appreciate Pandi because she thought been in Brianna Simone Pettiville's live that day listening to us. I wouldn't have met her, and the fact that she must have felt a good vibe because she tried to reach out to us and it didn't work the first time, and she just kept trying. And she was like, I don't want to be worrisome. I'm like, worrisome? I didn't get the email. So, it's like it was meant to be. And then through Pandi, we were able to meet Gio, who is always, and let me I'm gonna do some advertising for you, Gio. If you are a new YouTube channel owner and you're looking for a group to join, it's the Team Build with Gio, right? The Team Build with Gio, when you join her membership, a lot of these memberships you join, you don't get a lot out of them. Hers, I think when I've been with you now for like 24 months.
Right.
I will say that I have learned so much over these last 2 years, all the way up to this past Friday, because we meet up every Friday, and she's always giving us tips and things that I just didn't know anything about. And I learned about a new app that I can use when the file is too big that I had never heard of. So if you are a new YouTuber and you are looking to kind of get your channel going, Geo and Information Girls is another one where you give out a lot of advice, right?
Okay. Okay. Did you say that again?
Information Girls, that's the other one
Yeah,
where you give
we're in the process of going back over to Information Girls, Marlene and I. But if you want to get a lot of good YouTube information tips to get your playlist ran, you want to get monetized, then become a channel member at Team Build with Geo. Okay. So that's the name of the channel, Team Build with Geo. You just go over there and become a channel member and hit me up in Instagram with the same account number and let me know you became a channel member over there. And then I'll give you the instructions on how to join our team.
And I have included all of the panelists' information on the description box. I'll add the Team Build with Geo information because I'm telling y'all, it's a good place to go. Geo don't make you feel dumb. Like she telling you something that you should have known anyway. Because I'm
She
over there.
will put you in the jack hole though. Be careful.
Yes, she will.
Okay, guys, you have to be a channel member to know what the jackhole is, but he ain't lying. I will.
Because I'm
It's a
telling you,
fun.
I be over there asking basic questions and it's stuff that I done asked 2 or 3 times, and she is so patient because I know she been wanting to say, didn't I tell you what the difference is between a podcast and a live? Because I know I done asked that about 3 times.
But anyway, the jackhole, let me just tell y'all, the jackhole is a game that we play. Okay, it's just a fun game, but you have to be a channel member to know what it really is. Everybody loves it. I do too, except that I don't put myself in there.
But yeah, if Team Ranger says Jack Hole with rat burgers and weed salad. He sounds like somebody that's been to the Jack Hole. But yeah, I appreciate all of you guys. You know, um, Pandy has a lot of great information. Geo, Tony, if you want to be inspired by the TikTok, he is great with that. Everybody has something they bring to the table. And if you would like to work with us, all of our contact information is below. We all have businesses, so reach out and come on in. We welcome you. You might come sit up here with us and tell us something. So thank you guys for joining us. We are going to say good night. And okay, so who's next? Tony, right? We'll be
Yeah,
on
week
Tony's
after
channel.
next.
So week after next, we'll be back, and Tony will be having us at his house on Monday and Tuesday, and we'll see what he has in store. Thank y'all for coming by. Good night.
Good night.